Right now, first at 4, plenty of cloud cover sticking around across much of Michigan heading throughout our Labor Day, but we do have some sunshine on the way tomorrow. I'll break down when it moves into your neighborhood and your complete 4-1 forecast coming up.
First at 4, a wild scene at a Detroit gas station after officers opened fire as a driver intentionally rams a squad car. Plus, a judge grants former President Donald Trump's request for a special master in the Mar-a-Lago investigation. First at 4 starts now.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4. It is a cloudy day all across Metro Detroit, but can we expect some rain for the rest of this Labor Day? Brian Sherman joins us now with the answers. He has your forewarned weather forecast. Hey, Brian.
Hey there, Karen. Good afternoon, everyone. Not the ideal way to end a holiday weekend. Plenty of cloud cover with just a few hit or miss showers. The good news, exact track 40 radar, a clean sweep across southeastern Michigan. And I think for the most part, it will stay that way as we head throughout the rest of the day. That cloud cover has been stubborn across most of the state, working throughout the day. And I do think we will keep that cloud cover around and that isolated shower potential as we head into the evening hours tonight. That cloud cover has also kept temperatures down today. Most everyone low to mid 70s, 76 right now. City Airport, 72 in Pontiac as well as in Flint, 70 right now in Howell, and 73 as you work over into Ann Arbor. Temperatures slow to fall as we go through the evening hours tonight, upper 60s by the time we get to 8 o'clock tonight, dropping only into the mid 60s by early tomorrow morning. But we've got a few days of sunshine on the way as we head toward the middle of the week. I'll break down what you can expect in your complete 4-1 forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes, Karen.
We appreciate it. There's some tense moments for Detroit police. Officers opened fire at a gas station after a driver intentionally rams a squad car. This happened about 11:40 last night near 8 Mile and Glastonbury, close to the Southwheel Freeway. Officers were trying to pull over the SUV that was carjacked earlier in the day. 2 men got out, but the driver then tried to ram the stolen vehicle into some of the police cars. 3 officers did fire shots at the suspect's car as the driver took off. No officers were hurt. 2 people were taken into custody. The search continues at this hour for that driver. So tonight at 5, we're going to take a closer look at some new video of how this all went down. State police are investigating a deadly crash overnight in Royal Oak. It happened about 11:30 last night in the eastbound I-696 ramp to I-75. Troopers say a driver was speeding and then slammed into the back of another car without braking. The at-fault driver was killed in that crash. No other injuries have been reported. Well, a big win in federal court for former President Donald Trump. A judge granted Trump's request to appoint a special master in the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago. The special master is a third-party attorney from outside the government tasked with reviewing materials that agents seized from Trump's Florida home last month. The appointment means the DOJ will have to pause its review of those seized documents until the special master's review is completed. Now, both sides have until Friday to submit a list of potential candidates for that position. Well, a labor dispute remains unresolved right now between Eastern Michigan University and its faculty. The union will hold a strike vote tomorrow. If union members vote to authorize a strike, a work stoppage could begin as early as Wednesday. Their contracts expired last Wednesday, and they are currently working without one. The university says such a strike would be illegal under Michigan law. They also say classes for the remainder of the week will take place as scheduled. Police in Canada are still searching for 2 suspects in a mass stabbing incident which left at least 10 people dead and 15 injured. The series of stabbings happened in Canada's Saskatchewan province. Jason Colthorpe joins us now live from the newsroom with the very latest. Jason.
Yeah, a real scary situation here, Karen, and good afternoon. More than 24 hours now after those attacks, and Royal Canadian Mounted Police continue to keep much of the Saskatchewan province under a shelter-in-place order. 2 suspects still at large in this. They're 31-year-old Damian Sanderson and 30-year-old Miles Sanderson. They've been charged with first-degree murder, attempted murder, and breaking and entering, although neither are in custody. The attack started about 5:30 a.m. Sunday morning and lasted somewhere between 4 and 6 hours, putting police out alerts for more than 6 hours and then finding 13 different locations with victims. At least 10 people are dead. At least 15 others are wounded. It is possible, according to police, that some of the wounded may have taken themselves to the hospital. Now, the search does continue for those suspects in the city of Regina. That's the provincial capital, about 200 miles south of where these attacks took place. Authorities believe at some point they were traveling in a black Nissan Rogue with Saskatchewan license plates. Karen, we'll keep following it, obviously. For now, we'll send it back to you.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you very much, Jason. President Biden spending this Labor Day on the campaign trail in 2 battleground states. He is in Wisconsin before making his 3rd trip in less than a week to another Pennsylvania. The White House says Biden is celebrating the dignity of American workers. The unofficial start of fall. Labor Day also traditionally kicks off political crunch time, with campaigns just scrambling to excite voters ahead of Election Day on November 8th. Meantime, Labor Day is the unofficial last day of summer, and if you are lucky enough to be off work today, there is so much to do around town. In downtown Royal Oak, it is the last day of Arts, Beats, and Eats. There's plenty of good music, food, and fun. Plus, you can check out some amazing works of art and maybe take some home with you. Arts, Beats, and Eats wraps up tonight at 9. Now in Novi, it is the final day of the Michigan State Fair. The fair is happening at the Suburban Collection Showplace. Families can enjoy carnival rides and petting zoos. The fair goes until 9. Tickets are $10 and parking is free. And finally, in downtown Detroit, the annual Detroit Jazz Festival is back at Hart Plaza and at Campus Martius Park. The final performance takes the stage at 7:15 tonight. The Jazz Festival is also streaming online if you want to check it out. And on this Labor Day, there is plenty of barbecues taking place all across Metro Detroit. Now, one of the staples on the menu is the hot dog. But did you know about its ties to the Detroit area? Grant Herms joins us with more.
I love a hot dog. I love a hot dog just about any way they come. A Chicago dog? Extra peppers, please. A Seattle dog? Slather on that cream cheese. The Dodger dog? Classics never go out of style. But there may be no better way to get cased emulsified beef or pork than the Ballpark Frank. And there is nothing like sitting down at Comerica and hearing this. There's nothing like stepping back from a concession stand to a waiting condiment bar. You pump the ketchup and a perfect squiggle ends up on the hot dog. Condiment leaving just enough room for a little more mustard and maybe some relish. And if you're feeling really adventurous, a sporkful of onion. But this American classic would be nothing without Detroit. In 1957, Sam Slotkin, the owner of High Grade Foods based in Detroit, got the first contract for the Detroit Tigers and was asked to make a brand new hot dog. But I'll let his granddaughter, Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin, explain.
My great-grandfather was friends with this guy named Nathan Handwerker. They were both immigrants, and Nathan Handwerker became Nathan's Hot Dogs. And for the first 50 years, my family's company, High Grade, did all of the meat for Nathan's Hot Dogs on Coney Island. And then in the 50s, we moved the headquarters of the meat company to downtown Detroit. There was competition for the hot dog contract. It was very competitive, as I understand it. And the reason we got the contract is because we came up with a hot dog that wouldn't shrivel in 3 hours in the steam.
Holy cow!
And it became the hot dog of Tiger Stadium.
The company also made the packs larger, 8 to a pound, and fans loved them. Just 2 years later, High Grade Foods would bring their hot dogs to grocery stores everywhere across the state of Michigan. And those hot dogs came with a new iconic name, and as company legend has it, it was cooked up over a weekend brainstorming session. And with the new name, Ballpark Frank, High Grade Foods began selling their dogs nationwide with Detroit roots. Eventually, High Grade Foods was bought and dismantled by Sara Lee, which was then sold to Hillshire Farms food conglomerate. But just because the brand has changed doesn't mean the taste or the feeling comes with it has. It's a food that can be a transporting vessel of nostalgia to a summer's day at a ballpark with your family and a glove that you have to grow into, to that summer job at the local pool where you don't want the school year to start, or just a hot dog microwaved in a piece of bread because you miss the taste of home. So the next time you have a hot dog, tip your hat to the city of Detroit and pass the mustard.
Great story. Thank you, Grant. Still to come, first of 4. 2 actors are officially added to Russia's stop list. What we're learning about what led to them being banned from the country. Plus, severe weather disrupting life in the South. We're going to take a look at how storms are causing some problems in North Georgia today. But first, England has a new prime minister looking to right the ship left by Boris Johnson.